The last pattern we're going to talk about in this course is the builder pattern, which is yet another misunderstood pattern. So according to the Gang of Four book, the intent of this pattern is to separate the construction of an object from its representation. Let's talk about this using a real example. So once again, we're looking at Keynote on Mac, which is like PowerPoint on Windows. So once we create a presentation here, we can go to the File menu and export it in a variety of different formats. So we have PDF, PowerPoint, movie, and so on. So let's implement these concepts in code. Back to our project. Let's create a new package called Builder. Now here we need to add a class called Slide. Now for simplicity, let's imagine we can only add text to this slide. So here we should define a field of type string called text. Now let's initialize this via a constructor. So we generate a constructor and add this as a parameter. Great. Let's also create a getter for this field. So getter, done. And finally, let's move this field to the top. Good. So pretty simple. Now we need to create the presentation class. So let's add another class here called presentation, which is a composite because a presentation is a collection of slides. So here we should add a field of type list of slide called slides, and we're going to initialize it to a new array list. And we also need a method for adding a slide to this presentation. So public void add slide, which takes a slide, and here we call slides.add and give it the slide. So nothing new so far. Now let's implement the export method. So public void export. Now here we need to specify the target format, and for that we need an enum. So let's add an enum to this package. We're going to call that presentation format. So here we can have PDF, image, PowerPoint, movie, and so on. Now, back to the export method. Let's add the presentation format. And here we need to write some logic like this. If format equals presentation format.pdf, here we need to create a PDF object. So let's add a new class to this package called PDF document. Now, a PDF document is a collection of pages. So here we need a method like public void add page. Now again, for simplicity, let's imagine we can only add text to this page. So string text. Now here we're going to say adding a page to PDF. Pretty simple. Now, back to the export method. So we create a PDF object, new PDF document. Now we need to iterate over our slides, and for each slide, we need to create a page in this PDF. So for slide in slides, we're going to call pdf.addPage and give it the text of the slide. So slide.getText. Now we need similar code for other presentation formats. So else if format equals presentation format.movie. Here we need to create a movie object. So let's add another class in this package called movie. Now, unlike PDF documents, movies don't have pages. They have frames. So we need a method like public void add frame, which takes some text and a duration. Now, once again, for simplicity, we just want to print something on the terminal saying adding a frame to the movie. Great. Now, back to the export method. We're going to create a movie object. And then we're going to iterate over our slides and create a bunch of frames in this movie. So for slide in slides, we're going to call movie.addFrame. Here we call slide.getText. And for duration, let's use 3. Of course, this is not a good practice. In a real scenario, we should get this as a parameter from the user, or we should store it as a configuration setting somewhere. So we should never hard code magic values like this in our code, okay? Now, there are a number of problems in this implementation. So just like before, pause the video and think about these problems for a few seconds. Here's my answer. The first problem with this code is that it violates the open-closed principle. So if tomorrow we want to support a new presentation format, we have to come back and modify this method. The second problem is the tight coupling between the presentation class and these other classes like PDF document, movie, and so on. So as we support more presentation formats, our coupling increases. Now, the third problem is that our presentation class should also have the knowledge of the structure of these classes. For example, it knows that our PDF documents have pages and our movies have frames. So as we support more presentation formats, this class is going to get bloated with so much knowledge that really belongs somewhere else. And the fourth problem that I can see in this method is repetition in our exporting logic. So look, for each presentation format, we are iterating over our slides, getting the text of a slide, and adding something to the target object. So if tomorrow we decide to add a copyright message here, let's say the copyright message is going to be at the front of our target presentation, then we'll have to make multiple changes in this code. So for PDFs, first we have to call pdf.addPage, and here we add our copyright notice. And similarly for our movies, we're going to call movie.addFrame, copyright with 3. So the exporting logic is duplicated in multiple places. And of course, as we support more presentation formats, we're going to end up with more duplication. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how we can solve this problem using the builder pattern.